Okay, today we're going to be talking about the three witnesses. In today's world, it's very common to have witnesses, whether it's a crime scene, in the courtroom, in a hospital setting, burglary, anything like that. There's bound to be somebody somewhere who saw something. Today, in this day and age, we have the luxury of having security cameras around a lot of places and can attest to whether someone's telling the truth or lying. That wasn't the same case, obviously, for Joseph Smith and his time period. Due to this, we have to rely on the witnesses. The three witnesses that go along with Joseph Smith's testimony are those of Oliver Cowdery, David Whitmer, and Martin Harris. They witnessed accounts of angels and seeing the golden plates, which later came to be known as the Book of Mormon. There are many people who doubt the accounts and testimony of these men. Some claim that they were hallucinating, perhaps they were on drugs, maybe they just weren't of sound mind and a good mental state. And some even say that maybe they were all in on a same conspiracy theory together. Some reasons why we highly doubt all of those possibilities is because these men were of high regard in the community. They were known as reliable men. There was a time, a couple years after Martin Harris had reported to have seen an angel, that he left the Palmyra area. The community had a local newspaper that ridiculed him on this testimony of his, and despite the ridicule among his friends and neighbors and community, he stayed true to that testimony. All the witnesses insisted upon the physical, literal reality of what they had seen and experienced. There was always a divine spiritual aspect to it when describing these experiences. The kinds of things that you can't explain when it comes to describing a hallucination or if you were on drugs or something of the sort. They're very sound-minded descriptions. And no matter what path these men decided to take later in life and what choices that they chose, they completely held true to their testimony and to what they witnessed. Unfortunately, all three of these men that witnessed these events did end up leaving the church. However, Martin Harris and Oliver Cowdery did end up actually returning to the church and getting rebaptized. Through all of that, none of these men backed down on their testimony. As a recap, all of these men were reliable. They were always describing these events as being very physical and very literal when it came to describing them. And no matter what happened, they had the conviction and they stayed true to what they said they saw. And that means a lot because if you think about it, there was so much ridicule and unkindness from those around them. They could have easily gone back on what they said and said that they hallucinated it or they were just making it up, but they stayed true to it no matter what the circumstance was. Accepting the three witnesses' testimonies leads us to Jesus Christ. Accepting the testimonies means that we're accepting the Book of Mormon, and through the Book of Mormon we learn of Jesus Christ and we also accept him as our Savior and our Redeemer. As always, if you like this video, feel free to follow us. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. We have a website. You can always submit questions you have and we can answer them for you. And of course, you can always find this information on the church's website.